About a year ago, I was sitting alone in my room and I was doing some kind of visualizations and just thinking about how far I'd come. So I was looking at my goals that were sitting in front of me, the goals I had written for that particular month that were sitting right in front of me, and yet I felt completely uninspired. Like I wasn't inspired by what I was looking at in front of me. I had done the work, I had done the journaling, I had done the habits, I had gone for the vision, I had written down my goals, I had gotten my life together. People around me, when they see me, they'll call me, they'll be like, "Oh, Blossom, you've changed." And they were right, like I had changed. So why did I still feel so stuck? You know, that moment when you've gone so far, but suddenly it all just stops. Like not because of tragedy, not because of failure, or because you look around you and you low-key convince yourself that maybe you've already arrived. And I think that's actually the trap of complacency. And a lot of us fall into it a lot of times. We get so complacent and we feel like we've actually arrived when we've not even arrived. Hi, my name is Blossom and I'm here to make sure that you never settle for a life that's less than the one you deserve. My page is to make women realize that they deserve more from life and to actually strive towards it. This video is for every woman. Every woman who has ever worked her ass off to get the life that she wants, that to get her life together, only to secretly feel like she's tired, not because she's slowing down or something, but because she's actually comfortable. And comfort is very seductive, but it's not your final destination. So now let's talk about the complacency stage. The complacency stage is literally a slippery slope. It is a slippery slope on your self-development journey where it feels like you've peaked, but deep down you know you haven't. Like you're still far from the goals you actually want to achieve, but you still keep feeling like you've peaked, and you now start getting comfortable with yourself in ways that you shouldn't at all. Now let's talk about chapter 1, which I termed the silent difference between contentment and complacency, because I feel I have to actually show the very thin distinction between contentment and complacency, because a lot of people tend to like mistake one for the other, and that actually keeps them being stuck. So the first thing we need to do is to get one thing straight. Contentment is not complacency. Contentment is gratitude. It is peaceful and it actually feels like I love where I am at right now and I'm still moving forward. While complacency is stagnancy. It is literally a disguised kind of stagnancy, because you most time don't notice it. It says this is good enough, even when it is not good enough, even when you know that it is not good enough. So here's the actual kicker. You can only become complacent when you've actually made progress. So that's why you can get confusing, and that's why it feels so justified, but you need to be careful not to confuse it with completion or with contentment. Now let's go to chapter 2, the crash that comes after the climb. Now I need you to actually sit down and think about it. You started your journey from scratch. You woke up early, you journaled, you read the books you had to read, you changed your mindset. You have proof. Your old photos are there. They show how far you've come. Your notes app is there. It shows how much progress you've made. You've healed your heart and there is proof in your healed heart. But now you scroll more. You spend so much time on TikTok. You complain more. You slowed down, but you disguised it as rest. Let me be clear. Rest is necessary, but rest is a pause, not a retirement. So the minute your rest becomes your routine, You're already off the way you were supposed to go. You're off your decline. So now let's take weight loss for example. People lose weight and they feel confident and then they stop exercising. In fact, it happened to me recently. So what now happens to them? They gain it back. Sometimes they gain it even double because they rested but they forgot to maintain. I use weight loss because it happened to me recently. Self-improvement works. It works the same, and it is a harsh reality no one warns you about. Like, you're going to work so hard, you're going to try to pull yourself from wherever you are to a better level, but then you might mistakenly let yourself go, and you might become complacent, thinking that I already achieved this and this and this and this, I deserve the world. And that's where you mess up, because that's not all, and there's a lot more behind self-improvement. It is a continuous process, it is a forever process. So you must always be careful not to fall into the trap of complacency. So now let's go to chapter 3, why this trap is so common. Why is the complacency trap actually very common? Let's talk about it. So most people fall into complacency because they've never defined what their next level looks like. Most of the time they just define, okay, I just want to leave this stage, I just want to lose weight. But after losing weight, what next? You never defined it. So of course you fall into the complacency trap. So you had goals for 2022, for instance, you crushed it, but now it's 2025 and you're still celebrating 2022 wins. Why? 2022 has gone, it's been 3 years. So because you forgot to update your vision, you are still stuck celebrating 2022 wins when we are already in 2025. And the reason is because complacency feels so cozy, like you're under a warm blanket, but underneath it's suffocating your next level, and you never move on to the next level you're supposed to be. And that's why it is so common. This trap is so common and so many people fall into it. Now chapter 5, how do you spot complacency in yourself? Because this is the real kick. See, you can spot complacency in others, but how do you spot it in yourself? So how I personally know that I have slipped is by these few things. First of all, my to-do lists start getting shorter. Next thing is that I start feeling proud but not hungry for more, not hungry for success. I used to say a lot of I used to instead of I'm currently, like I used to work out. I'm not currently working out. I begin to feel like starting again because it feels like I'm too far gone. Like, so I feel like I can't start again because I'm too far gone. And if you resonate with this, I see you. I am you. But I also know that getting out of the complacency stage requires self-honesty. No hustle, no shame, just honesty. Just be very, very honest with yourself. That's the only way you can actually get out of the complacency stage and actually move into a higher level, or the level that you want to get into. Okay, so let's go to chapter 5, which is how to reignite the flame after you have become complacent. How do you reignite the flame? How do you get back to the who you were before, the person who really wanted to work hard, who really wanted to achieve their goals? So let's talk about action first. The first thing you need to do is to recognize the trap. Most people never realize they are in it. And one thing you should know is that you are already ahead of many others once you know that you are being complacent. It's literally the cure to it. The second thing is to rewire your vision. Rewrite your why and make it real, make it longer than it used to be, and make it bigger. 3 is to dream bigger dreams. If your goals don't scare you a little, they are not pushing you. And the third thing is to surround yourself with momentum. Follow people who are 5 steps ahead of you. Absorb their mindset. Let it remind you of what is actually possible. The fifth thing is to create daily non-negotiables. For me, it is to wake up early, to move my body, and to reflect. It keeps my discipline muscle alive. It's very important. Those are my non-negotiable. And I also make sure I read a book every single day. Now my final chapter, which is how do you apply this to becoming the highest and the best version of yourself, because I do not like to give instructions without explaining how you can also apply it into your life in practical ways. So here's my step-by-step game plan if I wanted to move out of my complacency stage. The first thing is to audit yourself. Ask yourself, am I improving or am I just existing? Write this down. The second thing is to write down your top 3 long-term goals. Then write 3 new habits that will keep you on track. The third thing is to commit to one uncomfortable action daily, something that actually disrupts your autopilot, something that takes you out of your comfort zone. The third thing is to track your growth monthly. Create a success file where you document down your wins, even the smallest ones. The fifth thing is to mentor yourself like you would your best friend. Now imagine you're your best friend and mentor yourself like that. Be kind, but also make sure you call yourself out. The sixth thing is to find a motivation vault, podcasts, books, channels like mine, and keep your fire fed. I do this a lot. I have a gallery where I keep motivational videos just to keep myself motivated. Read books that pump you and push you daily and remind yourself why you are here. So in conclusion, complacency is a seductive liar. It tells you are done when you are you've barely scratched the surface. You've never gotten your goals done. But if you've made it this far in this video, then deep down you know that this is not your final form and there's a lot more for you to achieve. Self-improvement is not a glow up moment like people make it seem. It is a lifestyle, and it gets richer, it gets deeper, and it becomes more fulfilling the longer you commit to it. And I need you to remember that rest is very sacred, but stopping is not an option, not for the girl that you are becoming. See you at the top. If you liked my video, you enjoyed it, and you love everything I said in this video, make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe to my channel, you turn on post notifications so you see when I post new videos. You share this video to your friend who are interested in watching videos like this, and you come back here for more videos to go and watch my old videos. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.